Hello Libra, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Libra is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Libra, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we start with the Devil card. This is the engine of the card. I feel like you're someone who's really motivated right now. You are fired up. I feel like you are very aware of your power. This is the card of the life force, right? The creative power, the driving force of your life. It's the engine of the car, right? So the first question becomes, what's motivating you? Why are you climbing the mountain you're climbing? Why are you on the spiral road to the top of the mountain? What is your why? Are you doing it for your kids, or for the world, or for yourself, or for your friend, or, what is the, ultimately it's for you, right? Ultimately it's for your soul. It's because there's something in you that wants to be expressed. Okay? This is the will made flesh. Let's put this card into a little bit of context. All right. Let's see what else is being activated in your life right now. We've got a 5 of Cups, but a Prince of Cups, an Ace of Wands, a Wheel. Yeah. All right. And we got a 7 of Swords, Wheel of Fortune, 7 of Swords. I kind of feel like there's such a drive in you right now that even as the spiral road has its ups and downs emotionally, you are staying true to your authentic self. You are staying true to that part of you that is devoted and committed. And that Prince of Cups here, right, is you realizing, knowing beyond the shadow of a doubt that you are building the life you desire. Even if on some days our goat is a little unmotivated. A little bit sad sometimes, a little bit down in the dumps. Sometimes path doesn't feel all that fun. You're doing it anyway. Okay? You're doing it anyway. Even when other people may be disappointing that goat, the goat is still going to do it. Here we have a 4 of Pentacles. We have a 9 of Cups. Beautiful. We have an Empress. That's the top of the mountain, yeah? And we have a 3 of Pentacles. So keep climbing. We have the Sun in Capricorn over here. We've got Mars in Capricorn over here. The Devil card is Capricorn. So Libra, I would watch the Capricorn reading if I were you. Okay? I feel like this reading is probably meant for only a few of you. Okay, I feel like only 1% of people are going to be watching this. If you're watching this reading, it is for you. Okay, you're one of the rare 1% Librans who are here watching this and who are activating these energies. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the Factor Infinite and Unknown. And we're going to set it down right here with Mr. Ed, our tiny horse, right there on top. Now, we're not going to look at that card, of course, until the end of the reading. It will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end. If at any moment during this message, Libra, you feel like you might know what that card is, put your prediction in the comments right below the video, okay? Now, as we look around the room, we see 3 very important major arcana cards. The Devil, climbing the mountain, okay? Whatever it takes to get to the goal, we're there, we're doing it, we're traveling the spiral road. The Wheel of Fortune showing that we have to trust in the divine timing. We have to trust in the things that happen in the world, in the universe, that happen for us. Things don't happen to us, they happen for us and through us. Okay? So the divine timing, the ups and downs of life, the way the road shifts, and the things we encounter on the spiral road are all meant to be there. And of course, we have the success, the ultimate feel-good energy of that Empress card. Okay, which this is the summit of the mountain, big rock, candy mountain. This is the culmination of the path of the spiral road. It's the paradise. It is the oasis. It is the good life, the Emerald City, the best life, the Garden of Eden, all those things. Okay? We're traveling up the spiral road, up Big Rock Candy Mountain, and this is that life. Yeah. We've got fire. We've got water. We got a little bit of air. And then we have our earth cards. Okay? So let's continue with our devil energy a little bit. This is that desire. This is the sacred desire. This is your creative and generative will. This is the fact that you want to create something that is going to outlive you. A legacy, generational wealth. You want to leave a mark. You want to create some kind of art that's going to exist even after you're gone. A book, poetry, an influence on other people, a memory in other people's hearts and minds. You want to leave your mark on the world. You want to leave your dent on the universe. Shout out to Chris Reck. You're trying to build something that is bigger than you, bigger than ego, right? And, the other human drive is the drive for pleasure. You want it to feel good, right? You want your path, you want your life, you want the goal to feel good. You're trying to enjoy the journey and the destination. And sometimes the Five of Cups, some days it's not as fun, right? Some days the pleasure is just not there, and that's okay. The third human drive is the sovereign drive, also called the aggressive drive or the assertive drive. And it's simply you wanting to feel the engine of the car. The engine just wants to roar, right? You just want to rev the engine. You want to drive the car because you can. You love feeling the horsepower, under the hood and with the gas pedal and, I feel like you're driving like an old Mustang or something, right? All souped up and big old engine in there and stuff, and loud exhaust, and it's power, and it feels good. It feels like you're capable of doing that. Okay? So those three drives are present in all of us. And I think for you, you've got all three of them fairly well aligned. The one that might be a little bit out of alignment, and it's not your fault, is the pleasure drive, because we have a Five of Cups. So it's just kind of saying that right now, maybe your path doesn't feel the greatest. It's not as fun as it has been on other days, But you're doing it nonetheless. You're going to bring that pleasure drive back into alignment, and everything's going to be purring. The Three of Pentacles, or any of the threes really, represent the alignment of those drives. The creative drive, pleasure drive, sovereign drive. The creative drive's at the top. Okay, so it's like you've got those engines. Even when one of them kind of falters a little bit, the other ones can pick up the slack, and it's okay. We got to bring everything back into alignment, though, if we want to go up the mountain, most efficiently. So this is that alignment. Okay, so I love this reading already for you. The Devil card here is this drive for that expression. Okay, it is the drive for pleasure, for creation, for intimacy, for expression, and that is sacred. Okay, but you got to know why. You got to know what it is that what the top level sort of purpose is, that motivation. This is, your goal is calling to you, and there's an urgency, there's heat, there's hunger, right? That's your spiral road. Okay, and you feel the call. And your task is not to suppress that desire, but to befriend it, to direct it. This goat is our best friend. This goat is the engine of the car, the human will. Okay? So we don't want to let anything interrupt that. And I think that you're pursuing your goals without apology. There's no real need for performance, although I think that may be a little bit of the fun. There is also no need for secrecy, but I feel like you're kind of playing your cards close to your chest right now. You know, with the Seven of Swords there, I feel like you're not trying to open yourself up to too much criticism. Okay? You're just trying to kind of keep your blinders on and stay on your spiral road and get up the Big Rock Candy Mountain. Okay? I feel like you're not trying to hear any of the noise. You're trying to minimize the BS. More of the BS that comes in gives us more opportunity to not really have a good time. Somebody could have an opinion that then kind of makes you feel a little bit, you know, sad. Someone could say something kind of bums you out. Someone could come in and be a rain on your parade, be a little bit of a wet blanket here. So I feel like the heart and the mind really need to be protected. The mind, the heart, right? Swords and cups. Swords and cups. And the devil really is going up the mountain, whether it's rain or shine. Even if other people have negative opinions or they have something to say, even if there are haters and instigators, the goat's going to do it anyway. I don't care what you say. I'm going to go up alone if I have to. It's not going to bother me. It does bother us a little bit, though. You know what I mean? Like the engine of the car doesn't really care what other people think. It's just an engine. It's kind of neutral. But we're human beings. So we do care a little bit about, you know, those kinds of things. Okay. Anyway, this is your agency. When you know what your desires are, when you know what those drives are for you, it becomes agency. Okay? And this is the engine by which the fire, the combustion of the car, right, becomes real, becomes physical movement. Okay? Because the engine then is powering the drivetrain, the transmission, all the way down to the wheels. And the wheels are creating movement. And you have a wheel, the wheel of your chariot, right? The wheel of fortune. So I really like that analogy and that system that we have, that spiritual fire, that creativity, that inner drive, that inspiration is the internal combustion of the engine. And the engine, the human drive, is what takes that fuel and that fire and actually makes it something manifest in the physical world. It's the same way when I say that we're doing that fire to earth spiritual electrical circuit of creation. You know, going from impulse to behavior, from will to implementation, from impulse to behavior and inspiration to implementation. Okay, will to action, heaven to earth, above to below, inside to outside. And to get from fire to earth, you have to go through the human heart and mind. Because the human heart and mind is the conductor of that force, the conductor of the electricity. Okay, basically it's the magician card. The magician is the transmitter of this fire down to manifestation. And what is the transmitter? The transmission of the car. So our human heart and mind, the swords and the cups, are how we transmit all of that subtle spiritual fire, the idea, and we transmit it to the wheels. And we start action, and things start happening in the physical realm. It's magic. The tarot is trying to teach you how to be a magician. The magician is the transmission of that spiritual current. Okay? It's a whole, I'm writing a book on it. It's a whole thing. Anyway, let's talk about the Five of Cups. Because sometimes, you know, the transmission can run into some problems. Sometimes we can get a little bit of disappointment. And the Five of Cups is simply that. It's some emotional thing. It's a wave of emotion that we're feeling. Something should have been there today, wasn't there. And I'm feeling disappointed about it. We don't want to rush past this. We want to feel it, acknowledge it, and let it go. It's a wave that's coming upon us. It's going to wash up, and it's going to go back out to sea. And we know that a good wave is coming right after, probably, right? This is just part of the ups and downs of the path. Okay? You're not grieving really like what happened, but like what you wanted to happen, right? What you hoped it would be, not just what's going on now, but like you were expecting something else. You know, like you walk into your friend's house and you're ready to tell them all about your great idea, and you tell them what you're doing and about your progress, and they just say to you, that's dumb. Well, yeah, that's rude, right? That kind of hurts. But also it's because we have that expectation that I was very excited, to tell them, you're telling your family, I'm telling my family like how successful I was, or what I just accomplished, or I just got a promotion at work, and I'm so excited. And then we talk about it, and everybody else is just like, that's nothing. Who cares? Hopefully nobody's talking to you that way. That would be terrible. But that's the disappointment, is that we were expecting a different event. I was expecting the universe to bring me something else, but instead I got this, Something that we were expecting to be there wasn't there, and that's why we have the disappointment. It's not so much that Spirit gave us lemons, but it's that I was asking for limes, And so that's kind of where we are with this card. So we just have to name that, and we have to let it go. We have to acknowledge what that was, and we have to just try to clear that energy. We're not trying to blame anybody else. Being sad, it's not a failure. Okay? We don't want to let this interrupt that goat climbing the spiral road up Big Rock Candy Mountain. Okay? There is still a lot of value, even though we have that disappointment. We're kind of looking with the Five of Cups, we're kind of looking for the other cups that are still there. So it's really saying that even though there is a moment of sadness, or maybe it's been longer than a moment, maybe it's been a whole day or a week or a month, or maybe the whole year has been like this, okay? For some of you, yeah, this is going to be like this energy just needs to go away already. There is still this underlying joy and love and commitment and devotion that you have for your path. And that's why the goat is able to endure the rain. I don't know how long it's been raining for you. Okay? I don't know how long it's been raining for you. But the rain will end. Sunshine, the sun is coming out. The clouds are parting, right? And the sun's going to be there. Mystery card maybe will be the Magician or the Sun, or the Six of Cups, maybe the Ace of Cups. You got to stick around to find out, okay, Libra? But being honest about the emotions will help, okay? And just let this pass, and it will pass. We're not trying to ignore this. This is front and center. This is the goat that's climbing up the mountain even when it's raining. Okay? Now, down beneath the surface, Prince of Cups. This is your mastery of your emotions. This is emotional stability. This is saying even when it's raining outside, I'm still okay. It's like you don't have, the seasonal affective disorder? That's a real thing. That's a real thing. But I feel like this is you saying, I'm committed to this path even when it rains. Even when it's sunny outside, I'm committed to this path. I'm not going to get distracted by sunshine or rain, by the good days or the bad days. There's an emotional maturity here. Okay? And that emotional maturity allows you to continue doing that difficult thing and perhaps even like delaying gratification. Well, that's what maybe the Five of Cups is like, forced delayed gratification. I was hoping to be gratified, I wasn't. But I'm going to keep going anyway because I know that I'm going to get there. I know it's going to happen. Yeah, I know that this is going to work. Okay, so that takes a lot of maturity to be able to postpone your pleasure, your fulfillment. And that's why the Empress card is where it is, right? You're feeling your feelings fully, but you're not letting them drive the car. You are compassionate, but you have boundaries. You're holding space for other people, but you're not abandoning your authentic self. Right now, you're a bubble in an ocean. You're that little element of truth in a very hostile emotional environment. Okay? You're a little ship on a very stormy sea. And there you are at the wheel, trying to do your best and trying to keep going. You're a very authentic person. That's what this card is all about, the Prince of Cups. Because you know you're committed to this journey, because you know that you are building the life you desire. Even though today's a storm, tomorrow might be a storm, maybe it's been a storm of the century, you're going to keep going. Your presence is stabilizing to other people too. I don't know if you knew that. You have an emotional consistency. You have a steadiness about you. Even when your ship is getting hammered by the rain, you're leading with calm confidence. Speaking your truth, holding on to your truth, no matter what the conditions are around you. And that's real strength, It's real strength. You've got an Ace of Wands behind you. And this is the fuel. This is that internal combustion of that engine of the car, This is the energy, the spark. Maybe this is the spark plug. Yeah, it looks like a spark plug. But this is the motivation. This is what's keeping the engine running. This is your creative fire. And this is the inspiration. And you're following this inspiration. And you're doing the thing. You're on that road, whether this is about work or at home, maybe it's something at school. You know that the conditions will never be perfect. Even on some days where it's like today's a good day to go sailing, you know that the weather can turn at any moment. Right? We're here in Minnesota. We know the weather can turn at any moment. Actually started snowing a little bit the other day. You don't have to wait for perfect conditions, nor do you expect the conditions to always be perfect. Sometimes that's the Five of Cups, though. I got some bad weather. I don't mind bad weather. I love the rain. Just that I was kind of planning on sunshine today. And that's why we're disappointed, right? Your enthusiasm is your guide. Yeah. Your simple idea to action. This is very elementary, right? It's impulse to behavior. It's will to action. The spark is causing the engine to turn. And the transmission is then bringing that power down to the wheels, and things are turning. The wheel is starting to turn. The wheel is starting to turn. The universe is giving you green lights. You're trusting this. The green light is there even when it's raining. Just because there's rain doesn't mean the lights are not working right now, Keep the momentum. Keep this spark alive. The spark plugs have to be firing on all cylinders, because that kind of taking action, that staying on course and continuing to take steps is going to keep that momentum going. Once that wheel of fortune, it's like it's an old rusty wheel. Once it gets turning, it's easier to keep it going. Like you think of the car. It's much easier to keep a car going 55 miles an hour than it is to go from 0 to 55. I guess this is old. They changed the speed limits, didn't they? Like a few years ago, like 30 years ago. They changed them to 65. At least in California, they did. I remember the day. It was in the 80s or something, I think. But anyway, I digress. Protect this excitement. It's very important that you don't talk to anybody that is going to ruin this spark. You're chambering a coal here. You have this little ember. You're just trying to make that fire. You got this little kindling, you got this spark in there. You don't want to expose it to the rain and the wind, because it's gonna be gone, right? So you protect this. You don't share it with everybody. You don't let it get affected by the rain, by the sadness, by the disappointments. No, this is still precious. This is still what it's all about. This is that idea. This is that inspiration. And it's going to continue to drive this car. It's that internal combustion, like I said. Okay. You got the Wheel of Fortune up here. Beautiful card. This is the wheel is turning, right? Opportunities are arriving. Synchronicities are happening. Momentum is building. Things are changing. Things are shifting in your life. You're not resisting the movement. Sometimes these movements are going to bring you something other than what you were expecting, and you may feel a Five of Cups disappointment. The Wheel of Fortune is spirit, putting people, places, and things on your path when and where you need them, whether you like them or not. It's up to you to engage those resources. So I feel like you have a really wonderful perspective right now, because anything that happens in your life, you have this ability to say, okay, it wasn't what I was expecting, and I feel a disappointment about it, but I know that this was meant for me. And I know that this was happening for me and through me, rather than to me. Even if my emotions on the surface the waves of the ocean, don't like it. But I trust that everything Spirit brings my way is meant for me to engage with in some way. Maybe engage by like putting your hands in your pocket, don't touch it, let it pass you by. Or maybe reach out and grab it. But to know that it's meant to happen that way, divine timing. Synchronicities and all of those things that happen in the world. Spirit doesn't need our approval. We don't have to like the things that happen outside of our control. We don't even really need to participate in it. Spirit doesn't care if we participate. But the hand of providence will move if you keep yourself going. If you stay on the path and keep going, Spirit will continue to bring you opportunities. Say yes to those opportunities, especially the ones that feel expansive. Feels like I'm going to grow through this. Even though my heart on the surface, I don't like it, I know it's good for me. I know I'm going to grow. I know that it's expanding my life. Right now, you need to take action. You need to be visible. You need to take those positive risks. Okay? The wheel is turning in your favor. Okay? I feel like you're being lifted to a new phase in your life in some way. Okay? The momentum is building up. It's accelerating. Move with the wheel. Life is opening up for you. Yeah. And this is Jupiter. This is expansive. This is prosperous. This is profitable. It's a wonderful time for you to continue doing what you're doing, and I think you're going to be achieving wonderful, wonderful things. Yeah. The other part of this transmission energy is the Seven of Swords. This is a card that really needs strategy, privacy, caution, self-protection. Protect your mind. Protect that ember from the wind. Okay? You don't need to announce everything you're doing. There's no need for secrecy, but there has to be strategy here. Okay? You don't need to keep everything to yourself, but sometimes you should. Simple, right? Move in silence while your plans are developing, while you're building momentum, while you're doing your work. You don't have to go and share with everybody, because it reaches a point where we're just trying to show off, you know? Not everybody needs to have access to your world, to your thoughts and feelings, because once you open the door, then they can really get in and they can start affecting that spark. You know, it's like you want to keep the hood closed on the car. You want to keep the cylinder heads bolted down tight, or the whatever, I don't know, so that nothing can get in there and gunk up your engine. Think strategically here about that. Choose your confidants very carefully. Don't rush. Be intentional with your movements. Protect your energy. Protect your time. Protect your plans. Hold them close. Don't allow any naysayers to get in and disturb you more than that Five of Cups is kind of already affected. Okay? So moving forward, I think we need to be more cautious about who we let in and the things that we the things that we allow in, the things that we entertain that may be affecting our our emotional experience of this path. Now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. These readings are totally free. Let me know which card on the path of the dove resonates with you the most. Yeah? I want to do a manifestation oracle card before we move on to the path of the serpent. And here we have the heavenly embrace. You will never lose your way, for all paths will lead you back home. All paths will lead you to the Big Rock Candy Mountain, to your paradise, okay, to your Emerald City. My angels guide me. I want you to type that into the comments underneath the video. Say, my angels guide me. Yeah, because they do, and they are. Four of Pentacles here. Stability, structure, boundaries, security. Protect what you've been building. Don't let yourself backslide. As you're climbing up the mountain, there are milestones. Okay? This is maybe financial boundaries, but emotional boundaries too, to protect that spark. This is the physical structure. Sometimes you just got to close your doors, lock your doors. Sometimes you got to put on the do not disturb on your phone, you know? Declutter your environment. If you clear your space, kind of clear your head, and it stabilizes the heart. Save your money more than you spend it. Give yourself a buffer, give yourself a cushion, build up the emergency fund a little bit, okay? Your future self will thank you for that. This is creating a cushiony foundation, okay? Soft kind of, stability, a soft platform. This platform from which you can continue climbing. You climb, 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 you make a platform. Now you can't go below that. Then you climb, 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 and you make a platform. And now you can't go below that, right? So you're building yourself up step by step, incrementally. And I feel like that's the right way to climb this spiral road. You need clarity. We need, especially with the Seven of Swords, we're trying to stay on the straight and narrow Ace of Swords, but there are all these other opinions, all these other options, all these other voices, and even thoughts in our heads. We need clarity, okay? Clarity is going to bring you safety, because we know that the Four of Pentacles is the illusion of safety. This is the instability, the inherent instability in any platform, any system. When you've climbed the mountain, you've made your platform, right, and you're laying down, you know that it could go at any moment, right? The fours of the tarot always are asking, like, where's the five? You know, because the five is inherent in the four, and the four is inherent in the five. It's the nature of the path. 4 plus 5 equals 9, right? And 9 is the verb. It is the action. It is the nature of the road we're on. There is flat, smooth road, and there are potholes. The sea is going to be smooth like glass, and there's going to be turbulence. There's going to be both. There must be both. Okay? But clarity is going to allow you to know that any time that you start to feel a little safety, security, and stability, you've got to keep going, because this is not a permanent base. You know, this is not going to be forever. We've got to keep going. There needs to be movement in order to continue with this stability. You don't just save some money and, okay, well, that's it, now I'm done. No, you've got to continue working and earning and saving and shoring up the base and putting more, putting more sandbags around you to sort of protect you. Okay? We've got to keep going. It's movement that is going to create the stability. And the clarity allows us to see that, okay, this is good, and it's stable, and I feel safe, but I know that this is impermanent, and we have to continue to build. We've got to continue to climb. Okay? This is a temporary shelter, one that will sort of degrade over time. It's not a, this is a house made of wood and straw, or whatever the three little pigs did, right? It's not the house of bricks yet. Okay. But anyway, strengthen your base. That's a good point. Good habits, good solid routines for your life will allow you to enjoy more of this, 9 of Cups. Okay? I feel that there's a lot of happiness coming your way. This is fulfillment. This is emotional abundance, superabundance. This is satisfaction. This is an overflow of joy. This is abundance on the physical, financial, mental, emotional, and spiritual creative planes. 3, 3, 3. The 5, right, is part of this. Because without the 5 of Cups, we couldn't feel joy. Without a little bit of knowing the other side of that, we wouldn't be able to receive pleasure fully. Okay? You're earning your happiness. Yeah. This is a card of kind of relaxing into safety a little bit. And I know we just said, hey, everything is impermanent, right? Yes. But you still need to be able to allow this energy in. Allow joy to come in and allow it to stay. Pleasure, happiness, requires permission. The self must believe that it's allowed to live a life that feels good. This is you living the life you desire. And it's composed of a 5 of Cups and a 4 of Cups. Emotional stability and instability. It's gonna fluctuate. Okay? This is you living that life that you desire. This is the underlying pleasure of the spiral road for you. You're spiraling up Big Rock Candy Mountain. You're enjoying the journey as well as the destination, even if sometimes we feel a little disappointed and something that we thought would be there wasn't there. Okay? You're still embracing this. Let yourself feel good. This is not a distraction from your path. This is the path. When the path is working, this is what it feels like. Even if sometimes you get a 5, because that's part of it, right? The 5 is inside the 9, as is the 4. This is the path when it is working. We need to emphasize that. This is a growing enjoyment of the path that you're on. Even when sometimes it feels like that. Now let's talk about the Empress. Okay, the Empress, it is the goal, right? But it is also the journey. This is abundance. I think that this is where you feel like you're able to care for yourself, where you're able to receive and nourish yourself. Okay, and it's in the position of the obstacle kind of thing, right? I kind of feel like sometimes the goat needs a little bit of a spa day. Can you imagine a goat having a spa day? That's what we need right now. You got to nourish yourself. Take care of your body. That takes care of your mind and your emotional clarity. Taking care of the body will take care of the heart. So how do you get through the 5 of Cups? Take care of your body. And we'll ease into this joyous, superabundant path of happiness. Okay? Let yourself receive help, love, compliments, and support. Beautify your space. Okay? The goat, the devil card can be very utilitarian. Very just, if it doesn't have a function, why is it here? The plate, I should be able to eat everything on the plate. Why is there this flower on my plate? I can't eat it. Who are you, Gordon Ramsay? Sometimes you just need a little decoration. Sometimes it's okay to just beautify your life, even if there's no actual function. You know what? It does have a function. It makes me feel good. It does have a function. It motivates me. It does have a function. It gives me, it allows me to feel a kind of a holiness or a sacredness about the path. Beauty will restore your spirit, especially if the 5 of Cups is a little bit of feeling unmotivated or demotivated. Beautifying your space, beautifying your body. Get yourself something nice. Get yourself a fancy jacket. Treat yourself, because that will uplift your spirits. Okay. Create something. Create something simple yet satisfying. A piece of art, food. I don't know. Go make a gumbo. Make a cup of soup. Make a cup of tea. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. Do something that's going to lift your spirits. Do something that feels comfortable. Say yes to something warm. to something that restores you, not drains you further away. Because your heart, that 5 of Cups, that heart energy is going to stabilize when you slow down and you acknowledge it and you give yourself a little comfort. The 5 of Cups is basically saying, I need a hug. This is your heart saying, hey, look at me. I just need a hug. The goat needs a little embrace. You know, that's all. Nourish what nourishes you. Hug a goat today. Hashtag hug a goat. 3 of Pentacles. Because what's the 3 of Pentacles is, the goat is now well fed. The goat has received its hug, and the goat is climbing the mountain yet again. We have Mars and Capricorn here, right? Pardon me, I had hit the cough button there. This is the card of us continuing to do the work. Maybe the goat is just kind of slowing down a little bit because it's just, the goat's sad, poor goat. The goat just needs a hug. And once we hug the goat is motivated now. The spirits are raised. And we're fired up. And this is the engine now functioning. And like I said, it's really about those drives. It's like we have a 3-cylinder engine. A creative cylinder, the pleasure cylinder, and the sovereign cylinder. And the pleasure cylinder is just not feeling all that great. So we just need a little bit of kind of more immediate pleasure right now. Yeah. We just need to do something that feels good to lift our spirits, and all the cylinders will be firing, and we'll be right back on our path. You just need a little bit of fun, a little bit of joy, a little bit of comfort, support. You need a hug. Okay? Let's do it. Hashtag hug a goat. And I think that's going to be enough to restore your courage, your confidence, and restore your spirits. To keep you going. You just need a little bit of like positive feedback. A little bit of positive reinforcement. Okay? The 3 of Pentacles is sometimes a card of collaboration. So it may be that there's something kind of going on with your teammates or something like this, maybe at home, at work, at school. You're focusing on doing quality work, though. It's not about speed. It's about how do I get motivated to just continue doing this path slowly and deliberately and intentionally. How do I focus on quality? Because the 5 of Cups is like, I'm not feeling the love here. And so it makes me want to just rush. What do I need to do to make it kind of fun again, or to make it feel good, so I can do the slow, intentional, precise, meticulous work, and I can do quality work? See, when we get a 5 of Cups, the goat just wants to rush and hurry up and get it done. I just want to be done. We have to find a way to reward ourselves so that we can continue walking this path and doing quality work, you know? Continue improving. We need to find some way. Maybe it is really just beautifying your workspace. Finding a way to treat yourself, reward yourself with something. So then you can show up and you can still be like that, you know, meticulous and building with intention, building with skill, you know, working toward the mastery of something, not just trying to get it done so I can hurry up and feel good. I can hurry up and get done, go to bed, or relax, or take a bubble bath, you know. Maybe we just need the bubble bath now. And then we can go back to doing what we're doing, and we can continue doing the high quality work of which your goat is capable. Okay. Let's look at the mystery card. Maybe, I feel like a 9 or a 10 of Wands probably, right? So I feel like we just need to rest. I feel like we just need a little bit of the, the bowl of ice cream and the bubble bath type of energy. If you have a prediction for this card, please put it in the comments. And, the 5 of Cups being that kind of delayed gratification. And it may be like, that takes a lot of emotional strength, to do that, to postpone your pleasure. And it may just be like, we've got to find a way to enjoy the journey more now so that we can continue showing up every day and doing that high quality work. Let's see what we have. The moon. Maybe the moon is saying we got to get creative. We've got to use our imagination. We've got to enjoy the journey. Because sometimes the journey up the spiral road, up Big Rock Candy Mountain, some days we'll be going through a dark, scary forest. And maybe that's just it right now. Maybe this is that phase of your journey where it just feels like a dark, scary forest. It's not a lot of fun. There's not really a lot of people around. There's uncertainty, a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of those Five of Cups emotions kind of floating around. Maybe we need to find a way to enjoy the night while we continue. Enjoy this sort of storm that we're in. How do we make it fun? Maybe things feel unclear. Okay. Maybe this is the nighttime sea journey. And it could just be right now we really need to take care of ourselves. We need to hug a goat. And we just need to trust our intuition. Okay? That we're going in the right direction. Trust that inner compass. Okay? If there's any kind of fear or hesitation or that uncertainty about the path, okay, we just need to be gentle with ourselves and pamper ourselves, nurture ourselves a little bit. Feed the goat, hug the goat. Okay, bring your attention back to your body and trust that your spirit knows the north, even if you can't see it right now. The sailor may not be able to see the north, but knows that the needle can. I think Rilke said that. Okay? Move slowly, trust your instincts. Clarity comes after the emotional truth. Okay? Getting through the Five of Cups gets us to this Seven of Swords where we can tear down all the false ideas and all the negative thoughts and all the criticism, and we can see with clarity the direction that we're taking. We might just be in that dark, scary forest segment of your spiral road. Okay? But what we're going to do is an extended reading. If you want to stick around, there's a link in the corner. There's a link down below. New readings for Libra Mondays and Thursdays. Be sure to watch both readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we are all in this together.